The truth about Ronaldo's retirement nobody's talking about. Everyone's calling this Ronaldo's retirement. Almost nobody's got the actual story right. Because what he actually said and what headlines are screaming are two very different things. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what Ronaldo confirmed, what he didn't, and why this whole situation is way more complicated than a simple goodbye. Stick around, because the ending involves a number most fans have never even thought about: 1,000. Let's start with what actually happened. Before Portugal's round of 16 match against Spain on July 6th, reporters asked Ronaldo the question they always ask: is this the last one? This time, he didn't dodge it. He said this would be his last World Cup. Not his last game of football. Not his last season. His last World Cup, specifically. That distinction matters more than people realize. Here's where it gets interesting. Just one day before that, in an earlier press conference, he'd given a completely different answer. He said he doesn't make reckless decisions. He said he'd decide after the tournament, not now. So somewhere between those two press conferences, something shifted. And it's worth asking why. In theory, a 41-year-old playing in his 6th World Cup calling it quits makes total sense. In practice, this is a guy who's spent 2 decades proving normal athletic aging doesn't apply to him. Let's talk about what he actually accomplished this tournament, because it's kind of ridiculous. He became the first player in history, man or woman, to score in 6 separate World Cups. 6. Spanning 20 years. He scored twice against Uzbekistan to make it happen. That's not a farewell tour stat. That's a guy still performing at an elite level while everyone's writing his obituary. And here's a detail most people miss. Portugal actually won their previous match, beating Spain in a penalty shootout to reach the round of 16. This wasn't some sad, limping exit. His team was playing well right up until they weren't. Then came the loss. Portugal fell 1-0 to Spain, and that was it. Tournament over. And that's when the real emotion showed. He told reporters he was sad to be leaving the World Cup like that. He said he gave it his all, and he's leaving with a clear conscience. Short. Simple. No dramatics. But here's the part everyone's getting wrong. He never said he's retiring from football. When asked directly about walking away from the sport entirely, he stayed vague. He said this was his last World Cup. Yes, but he needs time to reflect and be with his family. No rash decisions. You know the type of statement that gets clipped, stripped of context, and turned into a headline that says way more than the person actually said? This is exactly that. So why does this matter? Because Ronaldo is still under contract with Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia through 2027. He's still playing professional football at the club level. The only thing that's actually confirmed here is that his international career, specifically at World Cups, has reached its final chapter. Here's the number that puts this whole thing in perspective. Ronaldo is sitting on 24 goals away from 1,000 career goals. Not international goals, total career goals, club and country combined. Some fans genuinely believe he's not walking away from anything until he hits that number. And if that theory holds, retirement might be the last word anyone should be using right now. So here's the real takeaway. Ronaldo didn't announce his retirement. He confirmed the end of one specific chapter, his World Cup career, while leaving everything else deliberately open. That's not a farewell. That's a man who still has unfinished business, and he knows exactly what number he's chasing. So here's my question for you. Do you think Ronaldo retires the moment he hits 1,000 goals, or does he find a reason to keep going even after that? Drop your prediction in the comments. If breaking down what's actually true versus what's just headline noise is your thing, hit subscribe because we're doing this with every big story this World Cup produces.